Well, we start the hour with significant developments in South Africa. The country's Supreme Court of Appeal has upheld a ruling to reinstate corruption charges against President Jacob Zuma. The South African leader was appealing against a High Court ruling given in April 2016. That appeal ordered for a review of a decision made by the National Prosecuting Authority to set aside hundreds of corruption charges against him, a decision that allowed Zuma to run for president in 2009. Since then, Zuma's tenure has been filled with several scandals. The country's main opposition parties have been urging him to quit, and he's survived several no-confidence motions against him in Parliament. Well, for more on the story, I'm now joined by CGTN's Angelo Coppola in Johannesburg. Angelo, the corruption charges that just won't go away. What does this ruling imply for Zuma's presidency and legacy?
Well, Zuma has always maintained that he wanted his day in court on those fraud and corruption charges. The so-called spy tapes now have found that he's going to get his day in court. The ruling today was almost a foregone conclusion, though. This is his defense team recently acknowledged in court that the original decision by the NPA not to prosecute the then deputy president was irrational. Zuma's presidency has been dogged by these charges, which relate to some 783 transactions between himself and his then financial advisor, Shabir Sheikh, who went to jail. It appears, though, that there are actually just 18 charges against the president. And the official opposition and his detractors have been fighting tooth and nail to have those charges reinstated. So it does seem that the president will eventually get his day in court, Lindy.
And as you say, 18 charges specifically relating to the president. Just talk us through what we can expect legally going forward.
Well, we won't be getting any comment from the National Prosecuting Authority today, at least. They made that very clear a little while ago. But legally speaking, now that all those legal appeal processes have been exhausted, it's time for a court date. Zuma's defense team want to make new representations to the NPA's boss, Shaun Abrahams, but it's unclear if that's going to be done before or after a court date has been announced or not. So ultimately, it's going to be up to Shaun Abrahams, the head of the NPA, to announce his decision. And it's almost an action replay of the last time Zuma faced these charges in the build-up to the Polokwane elective conference in 2019, when he was elected ANC president and then president of the country. So Abrahams has a critical decision to make. Will the court sit before or after the December elective conference? And that decision could have a devastating impact on the ANC and its support base. Lindy?
We'll certainly watch and see. Thanks very much, Angelo Coppola, live for us there in Johannesburg.